If you ask me which one of my recipes you should cook to impress someone, it is this one. I honestly can't put into words how good this one was. This is a slow-cooked beef short rib rigatoni pasta. So I bought some beef short rib from the butcher's. I washed that down and then I seasoned it with some paprika, some onion granules, some garlic granules. I used some sea salt, a generous amount of that, as well as some black pepper. So once it was seasoned, I added a little bit of oil in just to make it easier to sort of get all the edges, get it all nice and coated. So I used my hands and just marinated that all into the short rib. Then I heated up a little bit of oil in a pan and I put the meat in to brown. So we're not cooking it or anything at this stage. We just want to get all sides of the meat nice and brown. So once it's looking something like this, you want to take it out the pan and set it to the side. Then in that same pan, we're going to work on making a little sauce. So I add some chopped carrots, some chopped shallots, some chopped garlic, and give that a good mix together. Then I added in some garlic puree. I added in a beef stock pot. And then I add in some fresh herbs. So I like to use thyme, a couple of bay leaves, some chopped parsley, and then mix that through. Then I add in about 3/4 of a jar of passata. I top that up with some boiling water. And then after mixing that through, I like to add a little bit extra. So to mine, I add some Worcestershire sauce. I add a generous amount of Parmesan cheese. Then we're going to stir that through until the Parmesan cheese is all melted into the sauce. Then this is optional, but I like to add a little bit of red wine. You can use whatever red wine you like. So then we're going to add the beef back in. So we're going to put that in and cover it up, and we're going to leave that to cook for about 3 hours. You want to check on it continuously during this cooking time. If you need to add more water, you can. I also added the rest of the jar of passata as well. So after about 3.5 hours of cooking this on a high heat, you should see it that the meat is just completely falling off the bone. So you should be able to just slide them straight off. Your meat should be nice and delicate and soft. So we're going to remove the meat from a pan and then we're going to set it to the side. Then we're going to work on making a nice tasty pasta sauce with what's left in the pan. So I like to add a little bit more water, a full tub of cream. Then I add some more Parmesan cheese and give that a good mix. So I remove like the thyme, the bay leaves, all that sort of stuff. And then I take a hand blender and I just blend this all up together to get rid of any lumps. I add a little bit of the pasta water to loosen up that sauce, and then this is how the sauce is looking. So then I go back to the beef and I just take 2 forks and just start shredding it apart. It should be so nice and tender. Shouldn't really take much work to pull this apart. Sometimes it can be a little bit fatty though, so I would recommend removing the fatty bits. So this is how the meat should be looking. So we're going to add that back into our nice pasta sauce and just completely combine that in the sauce. So once you've got your sauce and your meat all mixed together, then we're going to add in the pasta. So you can choose whatever pasta you like for this. I chose some rigatoni this time. So get that pasta completely coated. You don't want to see any pieces of dry pasta in this. Then we're going to get that into a bowl. I like to top mine with a little bit more Parmesan cheese and a little bit more chopped parsley. Then I added a little bit of garlic bread, but to be honest, I didn't even need the garlic bread because this meal was so filling. Like I said, if you want to impress someone, if you're cooking for your partner for date night, this is the recipe you need to try. It's a labor of love, but it is so worth it.